Good evening. What we got today is a do-it-yourself mobile mineral site. This can also be used with corn, anything else you choose to feed your wildlife with, whether you have birds or deer, elk, whatnot. This is about a mineral site. I have the receipts that I use today. I use Bass Pro Outdoor World is where I found the Trophy 465. Tractor Supply is where I got the screen that you'll see we'll use, and the caps and the range mineral, as well as fine stock salt. You can see the prices on there. Home Depot, we got some of the Ys, W-Y-E, I think it's a Y. They're $10.92 there. However, at Lowe's I found them they were $8.94. I needed 4 of them. Each Lowe's and Home Depot only had 2. Got some camo paint to paint over the PVC so you don't have to look at the white, and it kind of disguises it. Just a tan color. Then I'll put some brown and black slashes on it like an ASAT design. So what you're going to need is a 4-inch PVC. I'd suggest using Schedule 40 PVC. If you use the thinner, when you go to cut it, it's going to break on you. I already had this, and I had some Schedule 40 as well, which you'll see here is what referring to as the thickness of the wall. You can actually cut that with your reciprocating saw, Sawzall. If you use the thinner, you'll have to use, instead of a wood saw, I'd suggest using a pipe saw. I just didn't have one right now. PVC is $15 for about 10 feet of it. The WYE is $9.94 a piece. 4-inch PVC drain, which is what you see right here. That keeps the corn or minerals dry if water does get inside of the device. And you have a 4-inch cap, which is what goes on top of the device to keep water from getting in there, and you pull it off whenever you use it. So just using a cord, drilling holes in the side of the PVC and putting a bungee over the top of it to keep this cap from coming off. You'll have coons and you'll have squirrels that'll actually eat that cap. I drill holes instead of using screws to put the bungee into and around. You'll need screen, which I picked up for I believe $2.99 is what I got at Tractor Supply Group. They had this on sale. We also had some screens on sale up there. Forgive the mess here. That door's been like that. I didn't do that. Neither did my dogs. But they had those on sale too for $2.99. So if you needed some screens, you can plug those in. So just using PVC adhesive. That's what we have here. Cement. Gloves when you do your cutting so that you do not cut and damage your finger. So didn't do that with a reciprocating saw. Whenever you're using this one and you're trying to hold the piece and go back and forth, it's very difficult. Saw, pipe saw, a sharp knife. I love this Coast knife. It's a Coast. I've cleaned deer with it. It's never lost its edge. As far as skin the deer, clean the deer, ball roast, rump roast, loin, backstrap, everything, cut it up. Loved it. I use a Sawzall to cut off the legs and things like that. But this to cut off all the meat until you touch the bone. Try not to hit any bone when you're skinning. It'll dull your knife. You need minerals and corn. Trophy 465. Gloves, we went over that. Mixing tub. Or a pitcher if you don't have a mixing tub. I understand not many people have that. I use scissors. Now what I did with the screen was I put it down and cut it out. Okay, I put this on top of it and cut around it and cut circles out. I then cut a piece to shove on the inside on top. So I have one piece down here, which is the circle piece. I then put this one on top of it. And then whenever I put the PVC over this, I make sure this folds down as I glue it, and it gives me 2 coats. The reason I do that is because I don't want mineral coming out the bottom. If you're only going to use corn, then you can just use this drain without putting screen on there. But since I'm using this as a mineral site, and by the way, this is to keep the pigs away from it, because if you put minerals on the ground, your pigs are going to find it and they're going to tear it up. So this is a WYE. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I'm sure many of you do know how to pronounce it. This goes on top of here. This drain will slip in to there and glue in there, okay, into the bottom here. You'll then take, you'll cement that in. You'll take your PVC, this is 36 inches right here, slip that in there, glue that in there, and then you can fill it with whatever you want. This is 36 inches of PVC here, and there's a 4-inch Y, whatever it is, so it's 36 inches of PVC plus this piece here. As far as my mix here, this holds approximately 33 pounds of mineral. It'll hold about a 50-pound bag of corn, close to it. The mix here is American Stockman salt, and it's just fine trace mineral salt. Stock salt is all it is. I have Trophy Rock 465, which is going to be majority of salt. Okay, there is no scientific evidence whatsoever, no biological evidence whatsoever that this helps antler growth. However, everyone tells you it does. The reason why I'd say it more than likely does is because of what an antler is made up of, which is majority is going to be calcium. Now, this is just a regular range mineral. This is a $15 bag. This is a $15 to $17 bag stock salt. You can get 50-pound bag for $5. Now, this is what's important to me, is going to be what's in here. Calcium 13%, calcium maximum is going to be 16%, a lot of salt. Now if you just put this out by itself, deer probably will not go to it as much as if you use a mix like I did. I use 2 parts salt to 1 part range mineral, and it's about 1 part Trophy Rock 465. That's a 30-pound bag. 25 pounds would be 1 part. So it's 50 pounds of salt, 30 pounds, 1 bag of the Trophy Rock 465, and 25 pounds of mineral. This is all mixed up in here, as you can see. Use your hand to mix it up, or you can use a pitcher. Now what I did was I took this tub, or this, like that, dipped it in. I had to bend it to a V, as you see a little V here, so that I could pour it into my already made up mobile mineral site. Okay. Now, the reason why I put that screen in the bottom is so that whenever I do this, it's not going to leak any minerals. The minerals are not going to come out of there. However, when the deer come to this, it's going to be about 2 foot off the ground or a little higher so that pigs can't get to it. You're going to use a rope to strap it to the tree, or straps on the bottom and a strap up here and a strap here. Okay, deer will kick this when it gets empty. Pigs will try and get to it and bump it, but the deer will then be able to go in here and get your substance out, whether it's minerals or corn. Important thing of having a mobile mineral site is a lot of places now it's not legal to leave minerals out during hunting season. What this does, it lets you move the site. If you don't like where your current site is, sure, you can leave your salt on the ground, do it that way and mix it in. That's fine. I do that as well, but that's going to stay there. However, you can take this, which a lot of this will get on the ground when deer get at it, and move it to a different site, see if you get more hits on it, and it's just a little bit easier to do. You can also pick it up when the season begins if you can't leave this out during the season for your deer. Most important months for this are going to be your June, July for antler growth, but also to help does lactate in the process of raising their fawns. So that's what all of these minerals do here. It's not about just antler growth, it's about healthy deer. And you can do this year round instead of just during the season. So that's what I suggest doing. It's not super expensive. This right here, minerals, $5.49 for the salt, $17.99 for the range mineral. So that's $25 there. $17 for Trophy Rocks, $42 for these things here. This gives me enough mineral for 3 sites. As I said, it takes about 33 pounds. I did it and weighed it, used a scale as I did that. That gives me enough for 3 sites. So if you want to make 3 of these or 4 of these or however many you want to do, you can do that. Suggest 1 for every 50 to 80 acres, you want to have a mineral site. You don't have to use the screen again if you're going to do this for, say, corn. But this is more for minerals for me to leave out there for the whole year. But again, that's a mobile mineral site. Hopefully that helps you out. You can see that I used Bass Pro, Tractor Supply Group, Home Depot, and Lowe's. Lowe's had the better price for some reason. Coast knife. Always use your wife's finest scissors so that you can fire them up, or actually just put them back before they get home. It's a luggage scale, PVC glue, caps. You can see how it is and what I'm doing here. Very easy to do, very simple. It's just glue, PVC. I'd suggest using the 4-inch. The 3-inch is going to be too small for the deer's nose to get into. This is a 3-inch PVC, just more stuff that I had laying around on another site. The 4-inch is going to be big enough for them to get in and out of. See my fist here, I'm 6'1", 220. And you can see just average your fist size there, about as big as an 8-pound bass, their mouth. So that is it. If you use the thinner PVC like I had here, you're going to have to cut an extra piece off and wrap it around there to make it thick enough for that wall to sit inside of the Schedule 40 attachment here. Alright, so I cemented this other piece on, which was a pain to cut a piece off for these other two here, but it's what I had. I wanted to keep them around 36 inches. This one's smaller, so it's probably going to hold about 20 pounds of mineral, but that's what you have. The way you reload these is you simply take that cap off, take you a pitcher, and you'll pour to reload these, whether you're using corn or whatever. You can have these out in your backyard, watch your deer come and eat them. You don't necessarily have to use it as a trap to get them coming and going, which I don't like hunting over food. It's just not a good way to do it because deer get smart. So anyhow, that's what we have. Good luck out there, and God bless.